Thanksgiving, a time for family, gratitude, and of course, a feast that could feed a small army. But what happens when the feast takes an unexpected turn? What happens when the star of the show isn't the turkey, the stuffing, or the pumpkin pie, but a bowl of dog food? Yes, you heard that right. Dog food. This is the story of how my son discovered dog food on our Thanksgiving dinner table, and his reaction was so priceless, so unforgettable, that I just had to share it with you. Trust me, by the end of this story, you'll be laughing, cringing, and maybe even double-checking your own dinner table. Let's get into it. I've noticed only 98% of you who watch haven't subscribed. Come on, guys, show some love and support. Thanks a bunch to those who have already subscribed. Thanksgiving has always been my favorite holiday. It's not just about the food, though let's be honest, the food is a huge part of it. It's about the warmth of family, the joy of being together, and the memories we create. This year, however, our Thanksgiving took a turn that none of us could have predicted. It started like any other Thanksgiving. The house was filled with the smell of roasting turkey, the sound of laughter, and the occasional clatter of pots and pans as my wife and I worked tirelessly in the kitchen. Our son, Ethan, a spirited 6-year-old with a knack for getting into everything, was buzzing around like a little tornado, asking a million questions and sneaking bites of food whenever he thought we weren't looking. The table was set, the candles were lit, and the feast was ready. We gathered around, holding hands as we said our Thanksgiving prayer, feeling grateful for the love and laughter that filled our home. Little did we know the real story was about to unfold, and it all started with a simple mix-up. Let me rewind a bit and explain how this all happened. You see, we have a dog named Max. Max is a golden retriever, and he's more than just a pet. He's family. He's the kind of dog who greets you like you've been gone for years, even if you just stepped out to get the mail. He's loyal, loving, and like any member of the family, he has his own special needs. In Max's case, that includes a gourmet dog food that looks and smells almost too good to be dog food. It's made with real meat, vegetables, and grains, and honestly, it looks like something you'd serve at a fancy dinner party. Earlier that day, my wife had prepared Max's meal and left it in a covered dish on the counter. She meant to put it in his bowl later, but in the chaos of Thanksgiving preparations, basting the turkey, whipping the mashed potatoes, and trying to keep Ethan from eating all the rolls, it got mixed in with the other dishes. And that, my friends, is where the trouble began. As we sat down to eat, the table was a picture of perfection. The turkey was golden brown, the cranberry sauce glistened like rubies, and the stuffing looked like it belonged in a magazine. We passed the dishes around, filling our plates and laughing as Ethan insisted on trying a little bit of everything. He piled his plate high with turkey, mashed potatoes, green bean casserole, and, yes, a scoop of what he thought was a new kind of stuffing. He took a big bite, chewed thoughtfully, and then his face froze. His eyes widened, and he slowly put his fork down. "Mom, Dad," he said, his voice trembling. "What is this?" At first, we thought he was just being dramatic. Kids, right? But then he pointed to the dish in question, and my heart sank. It was Max's dog food. Somehow it had made its way onto the table, and Ethan had just eaten a mouthful of it. What happened next was pure comedy gold. Ethan's expression went from confusion to horror to outright betrayal. "You fed me dog food?" he shouted, his voice echoing through the house. The entire table erupted into laughter. Everyone except Ethan, of course, who looked like he'd just been handed a life sentence. "I'm not a dog," he wailed, pushing his plate away dramatically. "I'm a human. Humans don't eat dog food." My wife and I tried to explain that it was an honest mistake, but Ethan wasn't having it. He crossed his arms, pouted, and declared that he was never eating Thanksgiving dinner again. Meanwhile, Max, oblivious to the chaos, wagged his tail and looked hopefully at the dish, clearly wondering why his food was on the table instead of in his bowl. The aftermath. The rest of the dinner was a mix of laughter and apologies. Ethan eventually forgave us, but only after we promised him an extra slice of pie and a new toy. Max, on the other hand, got to enjoy his gourmet meal, albeit a little later than planned. As we cleaned up that evening, my wife and I couldn't stop laughing about the whole thing. It was one of those moments that you know you'll be talking about for years to come, And honestly, it made our Thanksgiving even more memorable. After all, what's a family holiday without a little chaos? The lesson. So, what's the moral of this story? Well, for one, always double-check your dishes before serving them. But more importantly, embrace the unexpected. Life is full of surprises, and sometimes those surprises lead to the best memories. Sure, Ethan might never let us live this down, but that's okay. It's all part of the adventure of parenthood and the adventure of life. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and leave a comment below telling us about your most memorable Thanksgiving mishap. Trust me, we'd love to hear it. And if you're new here, welcome to the family. We've got plenty more stories where this one came from, so stick around for the next adventure. As I sit here writing this, I can't help but smile. Thanksgiving is about more than just the food. It's about the people you share it with, the laughter you create, and the memories you make, even if those memories involve dog food. So here's to the unexpected, the hilarious, and the downright unforgettable. Thanks for joining us on this journey, and we'll see you next time. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.